Charanam Prapachye Sriman Venkatanathārya Kavitarkikakesari Vedantacharya Varyo Me Sannidhattam Sada Hrude Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Adharahitacharu Vamshanalaha Makutalambi Mayura Pinchamalah Harinila Vibhangalilaha Pratibha Santu Mama Antima Prayane Om Asmad Guru Asmad Param Guru Asmad Sarva Guru Sri Ranganath Shragopetin Rashtum Lakshmi Nrsimha Jadit Turunika Patram Sri Rangavira Raghurat Shragopa Rujjam Vedanta Deshigedana Mahaprapajye Srimate Shivan Shragopa Sri Vedanta Deshigedana Maha Deshika Yanamaha Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha Srimate Nikmanta Maha Deshika Yanamaha Sri Ranganath Divya Paaduka Namaha Vishwamitra Ananta Kalyana Gunakara Sri Rangaraja Divyanabdha Vedanta Acharyaji Kavitarkya Samhit Prakyata Gunavakya Sarvadanta Swatantrahi Srimad Venkatanathari Sriman Narayana Mahadeshika Sakal Loko Jivani Vidham Sri Ranganatha Paaduka Sahasram Srimati Nigamanta Mahadeshika Namaha Sri Paaduka Sahasre Shrungaara Paddhatihi Dashami
Please, Acharya. Vedanta Deshkuta
Shiktam Sri Ranganati Shikala Prabhu Sri Krishna Devaki Namah Shrimati Sri Krishna Ramadeshki Namasmat Gurubhyo Namasmat Parmarubhyo Namasmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namah Narayana
Deshikati Namah Deshikai Namasmat Gurubhyo Namasmat Parma Gurubhyo Namasmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namah Narayana.
So we have seen yesterday in Paaduka Sahasram, the Shrungaara Paddhatihi, the 10th chapter. In the 6th verse, Nidrayitasya kamituhu manipaduketvam paryankika parisaram pratipadyamana Shvasanila prachalitena bhayasya bhikshnam nabhi sarojarayasa navamangaragam. Sriman Venkatanathārya Kavitarkikesari Vedanta Acharya Varyo Me Sannidhattam Sada Hrude संत श्रीरंग प्रद्वेश चरण तरुण शेखर जयंती भरतरण पदपंकजरिणमः भरताय परम नमोऽस्तु तस्मै प्रभुनाहनय भक्ति भाजामि पद्मविशेष प्रज्ञां प्रतो राघव पादुका प्रभावः where he says, Hey Paduka Devi, Hey Mani Padukas, the diamond studded Padukas, you always stay so close to Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha. Even when he is asleep, Paduka Devi enjoys Bhagavan's handsomeness in his sleeping posture. The other person who enjoyed the beauty of Bhagavan in his sleeping posture is Vishwamitra. And since Paaduka Devi is there so close, next to the Adisesha, there is a lotus that is there coming out of the navel of Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. And there is unimaginable pollen in that. And all that pollen is there falling all over the Padukas. Why is it falling? Pollen is like small dust particles, very fragrant. Because of the inhaling and exhaling, because of the exhaling for the air that comes out of the nostrils, pollen grains are there falling all over the Paaduka Devi. And that is giving the Paaduka Devi a wonderful, beautiful new look. What does it mean? The beauty here about the Shrungaara Paddhatihi is Mahatma Deshika could see something very passionate about it. Hey Paaduka Devi, how fortunate are you? Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha, even in his Yoga Nidra, is just proving one more time that how much he loves you. how much he loves you by beautifying you even in his sleep, even in his yoga nidra. Beautifying means when you go to the beauty salon, what will happen? They will try to put some makeup. They will try to make you look attractive, beautiful. What is Bhagavan doing? All the pollen that is there in the freshly sprouted lotus coming out of his navel, with his exhaling breath, Bhagavan is making all that pollen come and fall like a abhishekam, churna abhishekam to Paaduka Devi, and is indirectly making the Paaduka Devi so beautiful. And that Mahatma Deshika says, is it not a very passionate thought on the part of Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha that he wanted to beautify you even when he is sleeping? What does that mean? How fortunate are you, Paaduka Devi? How much Bhagavan loves you? Does anyone have that kind of a bhagyam that Bhagavan himself is personally beautifying someone? Nowhere we can hear. Whereas here Paaduka Devi had that unique bhagyam of being beautified by Bhagavan Sriman Narayana himself, even when he is asleep. Mahatma Deshika's way of glorifying is very, very different. He utilizes every opportunity to give a sense of special touch for the theme he is working on for that particular chapter. That is the greatness of Mahatma Deshika. There is nothing that misses the attention of Mahatma Deshika. Every little aspect he covers. And he covers in such a beautiful way. It is so common, Bhagavan going to his yoga nidra. Involuntary actions, the respiration is going on. But the exhaling breath is enough for the pollen grains from the freshly sprouted lotus coming out of his navel to just make a shower. And the beauty is he is making the shower fall exactly on the Paaduka Devi. And that prompts Mahatma Deshika to think how fortunate is Paaduka Devi, that Bhagavan loves Paaduka Devi to such an extent that he is giving a gift or present or beautifying when he is awake is different. Even when he is there in the Yoga Nidra, he is making sure his most beloved Paaduka Devi is looking beautiful and he is beautifying them. In such a subtle way, Mahatma Deshika expresses Shrungaara Bhavam here. Shayitavati Rajanyam Paduke Rangabandhau Sharanakamal Parshve Sadaram Vartasetvam Phanipatishayaniya Udditasya Prabhate Prathamanayana Padam Pavanam Praptukama. I do not know whether anyone of you tried when you were young. In all Orthodox temples, devotees tries to flock to the temple very, very early in the morning. Sometimes they will keep awake the whole night to be the number one in the queue, number one in the line. So that when the temple doors are open, they just want to be the first person. So that when the curtains are drawn, Bhagavan's first looks will fall on a devotee. That people consider as very, very auspicious. Now Mahatma Deshika is grabbing that opportunity. Hey Paaduka Devi, as Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha goes to his Yoga Nidra, instead of calling it just a sleep, let's call it Yoga Nidra. As Bhagavan is getting ready for his Yoga Nidra, you still wait there, near his bed of Adisesha. Paaduka Devi will not go to take rest anywhere. Paaduka Devi is always there, next to his bed called Adisesha. Where? At his feet. And how is she? Like a pativrata, like a chaste wife. And what does pativrata has for her husband? Pure and abundance of love. Paaduka Devi, always staying at his feet when Bhagavan is awake or when Bhagavan is asleep. And remaining so pure, like a chaste wife. Naturally, Bhagavan loves her.
I didn't, on this context, just small question, Swamiji. The Paaduka Devi is another form of Mahalakshmi or another form, Swamiji, it is?
Every female form is an amsha of Mahalakshmi.
Okay.
That's what the Vedic say. Every male is an amsha of Bhagavan Narayana. Every female is an amsha of Mahalakshmi. So that amsha. So here, Paaduka Devi is a personified. Like Sudarshana is personified. Panchajanya is personified. Shargam, Nandakam, they're all personified. Like Ganga, Ganga can exist as a river. Ganga is also personified as a woman. When Ganga Devi is there in the form of water and flowing, you call a river Ganga. When Ganga is there like a living human being, accepting Shantanu as the husband, giving birth to kids, she is to be considered as a person called Ganga. Paaduka Devi, as the sandals are Paaduka Devi. But Paaduka Devi personified is the chaste wife of the feet of Lord Raghunatha. That's how we have to look at it.
But once on this context, one more question, Swamiji. That means one of the devotees asking the question. Means if it is one of the female form, it is one of the personal form of the Mahalakshmi. Then it is under the feet of Narayana, it is they are asking the question. Mahalakshmi.
When they have pure love, they don't mind being at the feet. Mahalakshmi, she loves Narayana so much. Rather, Bhagavan loves Narayana, Sriman Narayana loves Sri Mahalakshmi so much. He gave her a special place on his chest. Yes, Mahalakshmi exists on his chest. But she is also very fond of staying at his feet. Lakshmi bhumyoh kalat lalitam ranga bhartuh. Lakshmi bhumyoh karakamalayoh lalitam ranga bhartuh. So both Lakshmi Devi and Bhudevi are also there at the feet of Lord Narayana, constantly attending to, serving the feet. So what is this? Mahalakshmi is there on the chest. Mahalakshmi is on the chest, is at the feet. There in pure love, there is no place as superior or inferior. If that is the case, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is asking the chief of the Gopikas, namely Radha, Dehi Padapallava Mudaram, Mama Shirasi Mandanam, Radha, if only bring your foot and then keep it on my head. I consider that as a great honor to my head. Is it against the dharma? No, in Shrungaara Bhavam there are no rules. All is fair in love and war. And that too when the love between a Jivatma and the Paramatma is so pure. There is nothing as right or wrong. Everything is fair. Because Bhagavan wanted it that way. Therefore, that most fortunate Gopika, identified as Radha, keeping her foot on the head of Krishna, is considered as the most passionate way that each of them are expressing their love to each other. That's how we have to look.
Okay, so much. Thank you so much.
So now, Paaduka Devi always staying at the feet, next to Adisesha, even when Bhagavan is there going to sleep. So the first thing, when Bhagavan wakes up, he has to keep his feet down. The first thing he is looking at are his Padukas. Now Mahatma Deshika grabs that opportunity to say, how fortunate are you, Paaduka Devi? The most purifying glances of Bhagavan are falling on you first, as soon as he wakes up in the morning. Bhagavan is waking up. Bhagavan is waking up. Now from the Shayana Mandapam, Bhagavan has to walk to the Suprabhata Mandapam. So Bhagavan has to put on his Padukas. The minute Bhagavan wakes up, Bhagavan accepts his Padukas and takes a nice walk to the Asthana Mandapam, where thousands of Devi Devatas are waiting for his darshanam. So for that, for Bhagavan to go from the Shayana Sthanam to the Suprabhata Sthanam, Bhagavan has to have the Padukas. So the minute Bhagavan wakes up, the first glances, the most purifying, all purifying glances. That's why people flock to be the first ones to be in the queue, so that when they open the door, Bhagavan's all purifying first glances will fall on those devotees. But here Mahatma Deshika says, when Bhagavan wakes up, those all purifying glances of Bhagavan are necessarily and evidently falling only on Paaduka Devi. Therefore, the Paaduka Devi's bhagyam is beyond our imagination. And now comes in a different way. Charana Kamala Sanga Ranganathasya Nityam Nigama Parimalam Tvam Paaduke Nirvabanti Niyatam Atishayana Vartase Savarodham Hrudayam Adhivasanti Malikan Vaijayanti. Another wonderful way to express some of the very passionate feelings. Charana Kamala Sangad Ranganathasya Nityam Nigama Parimalam Tvam Paaduke Nirvamanti Niyatamatishayana Vartase Savarodham Hrudayam Adhivasantim Malikam Vaijayantim. Hey Paaduka Devi, absolutely there should be no doubt about it that you always stay at the divine feet of Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Absolutely, no doubt. Paduka Devi stays at the feet. It is certain that you stay there at his feet and you are just spreading out the divine fragrance of the Vedas, excelling even the flavor or fragrance of the Vaijayanti garland that is there always on his chest, along with Sri Mahalakshmi. So if you look at Sriman Narayana, he will not only have the Vaijayanti Mala, Bhagavan is not only having the Vaijayanti Mala, Bhagavan is not only having Mahalakshmi, Bhagavan is also having his Padukas at his feet. And Paduka Devi is always spreading out the wonderful fragrance of the Vedas, and that fragrance is considered to be the fragrance Paduka Devi is spreading out, is considered to be way superior to the fragrance from the Vaijayanti Mala that is there always on his chest. Is only Vaijayanti Mala, including Mahalakshmi also on the chest. So what is the comparison here? Compared even to Mahalakshmi on his chest, compared to even the Vaijayanti Mala on his chest, Bhagavan Sriranganatha's Divyamani Padukas are just giving out such a wonderful fragrance of the Vedas. It is almost like the real Madhuryam is actually coming from the feet of the Lord. And the real Madhuryam coming from the feet of the Lord is there observed by the Paduka Devi. And for those Mahatmas who have totally understood the concept of absolute surrender, Sharanagati, at the feet of Bhagavan Sriman Narayana, their greatness we cannot even measure. On the Vakshasthalam of Sriman Narayana, Mahalakshmi is there, Vaijayanti Mala is there. Vaijayanti Mala itself is the most fragrant one, made with the most fragrant flowers. Sri Mahalakshmi, she is the one, Saundaryam personified, Ahlada Shakti personified. In spite of all that, Paduka Devi, constantly enjoying the company of the divine feet of Bhagavan Sriranganatha, it looks as though Paduka Devi is is giving out the fragrance of the Vedas. And the fragrance coming from the Paaduka Devi is way superior to the Vaijayanti Mala, the fragrance from the Vaijayanti Mala are from Mahalakshmi herself personified. Fortunate is Paaduka Devi. Just as in Krishna Avatara, all the gopikas wanted to enjoy the Adharamritam of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. But this divine Venu, the divine Venu is the one who is having the greatest bhagyam of enjoying Bhagavan's Adharamritam. That's why at one point of time the gopikas all of them felt very jealous of the Venu. Here, every devotee is there glorifying Paaduka Devi because they know how fortunate is Paaduka Devi. To be at the feet of the Lord in Sarvakara Sarvavastas. So coming to the next one, namely Upanishad Abalabhihi Nitya Muktam Saniyam Kimapi Jaradhi Kanya Hasta Samvahanarham Tavatu Charana Rakshe Devi Leela Ravindam Charana Sarasijam Tat Charu Chanura Hantuhu. Upanishad Abalabhihi Nityam Uttamsaniyam Kimapi Jaradhi Kanya Hasta Samvahanarham Tavatu Charana Rakshe Devi Leela Charana Sarasajam Tacharu Chanuru Hantum. Hey Paaduka Devi, the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Those divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who killed Mushtika, Chanura, etc. at such a young age, and constantly praised by all the Upanishads. And constantly attended to by Sri Mahalakshmi herself. And the Paaduka Devi, attending unto the Divya Padas of Narayana, is beyond all description by anyone. All because of Paaduka Devi, namely those lotus feet of Sri Krishna who killed Chanura and who are constantly praised by the Upanishads, and the Padas who are constantly tended to by Sri Mahalakshmi, became a simple lotus for you to play. In the sense that Paaduka Devi can handle the Paadukas in any way. While doing the Abhishekam, etc., Paaduka Devi is enjoying her activities with the divine feet of Narayana. So even though the divine feet of Mahalakshmi are constantly attended to by Sri Mahalakshmi, those divine feet actually became a small lotus for playing in the hands of Paaduka Devi. Is the concept clear, sir, to you? Bhagavan's divine feet are glorified constantly by the Vedas. Sri Mahalakshmi is there constantly attending to the feet. Whereas those supreme feet are almost like a small lotus used for playing in the hands of Paaduka Devi. That great is the Paratantyam of Paaduka Devi. For ordinary people, it is unimaginable that they can be as close to the divine feet of Bhagavan as possible. It is next to impossible. But when it comes to Paaduka Devi, even those divine feet of the Supreme Lord Narayana are just like a small lotus used to play in the hands of Paaduka Devi. Just as these days kids play, little boys, they play with cars, girls, they play with Barbie dolls, etc. But in this case, for Paaduka Devi, those same lotus feet became just a toy, just a play lotus in the hands of Paaduka Devi. Such is the supremacy of Paaduka Devi. A unimaginable high status Bhagavan conferred on Paaduka Devi. And in the next one he says, Akilantapuravareshu anikavarim padavanisvairam anubhavati ranganadho vihara vikranti sahacharim bhavati. Vihara vikranta sahacharim bhavatim. Hey Paaduka Devi, that Bhagavan Sriranganatha always enjoyed the wonderful company of Paaduka Devi. He is Bhagavan Sriranganatha. But still he has his own. But he has his own special attachment. Even though he is the Supreme Lord, he is still having some special attachments. And he enjoys your company a lot of times. Bhagavan enjoys the company of Paaduka Devi a lot of times. He enjoys the company of Paaduka Devi even when he is there in the private chambers of Sri Devi, Bhudevi, and Nila Devi. Because Paaduka Devi is a constant companion. How can we say? Paaduka Devi is always there at his feet. Therefore, Paaduka Devi is considered as a constant companion. Even though Bhagavan Sriman Narayana is very busy, even though Bhagavan Sriman Narayana is extremely busy with his personal time with the Devaris, etc. But still, Paaduka Devi's role is unique. Indirectly, Mahatma Deshka is saying, no doubt Paaduka Devi is great. But the greatness of Paaduka Devi is beyond any words that we can imagine. The reason it is impossible for us even to comprehend the greatness of Paaduka Devi is because when everyone is thinking Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha enjoys his personal time with Sri Devi, Bhudevi, Nila Devi, even during that time, Bhagavan Sriman Narayana is enjoying the divine company of Paaduka Devi. A unique honor to Paaduka Devi. Never heard of anywhere that Bhagavan being so close to anyone. That is what exactly we learn when Mahatma Deshika says Paaduka Devi is the best of the best person to be glorified. Can anything even come closer to Paaduka Devi? Absolutely no. Why absolutely no that nothing can be coming closer to or comparable to Paaduka Devi? Paaduka Devi is the one who is volunteering to be there at the feet of the Lord 24/7. And even the divine feet of Bhagavan is just nothing but a small play toy. What else we need is a bhagyam. It is almost comparing to, for ordinary people, Salagrama Aradhana is so great. But for a little child born in the family of great Mahatmas, even though Salagrama sometimes he will take and play, same way, the divine feet of Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha are the most worshipful ones for so many devotees. But as far as Paaduka Devi, even those divine feet of Narayana are just nothing but a lotus flower that is used to play. A lotus flower in the hands of Sri Mahalakshmi used to play, that's all. Therefore, for all practical purposes, the devotees of Sri Ranganatha have automatically become the devotees of Mahalakshmi and have automatically become the devotees of Sriman Narayana as Paravasudeva. And Paaduka Devi is no exception. Paaduka Devi is the very, very fortunate devotee, fortunate person, which no one else can even think of. When all others are trying just to have a glimpse of those divine feet of Bhagavan, Paaduka Devi is there constantly. In the hug of those divine feet. There can be nothing better. There can be nothing more auspicious than being in the divine embrace of the divine feet of Lord Sriman Narayana. That is how Mahatma Vedanteshika concludes the 10th chapter called Shrungaara Paddhatihi. Iti Sri Paaduka Sahasram Shrungaara Paddhatihi Dashami. Amma, today is Uttar Falguni, so they have Andal Tirumanjanam also. Sadashiva, is it that we are doing the children's class at 10 or 11 or
11 o'clock, Swamiji. I texted to the Malama, they called us, Swamiji. Maybe she's busy, looks like.
No response. Okay, no problem. We'll have it 11 o'clock, don't worry.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, we can keep half an hour, Swamiji. We can keep half an hour. We can start 11 o'clock, we can keep half an hour, Swamiji. You can,
yeah, exactly. After half an hour, I'll go for the program.
Okay, Swamiji.
We have, today is Pura Falguni. Goda Devi's Masa Thiru Nakshatra.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead, Ma. If you have some question, please feel free, Ma.
Swamiji,
Revati, go ahead.
ఒకసారి ఈ మధ్యనే వరదరాజన్ గారు శ్రీకృష్ణ దేశిక గ్రూప్ లో ఒక క్వశ్చన్ పెట్టారు స్వామి. వేదాంత దేశకుల వారు ఇది మెన్షన్ చేశారా ఏమన్నా పాదుక శాస్త్రంలో? గజేంద్ర మోక్షంలో గజేంద్రుడు శ్రీమన్నారాయణ వారిని ప్రార్థించినప్పుడు ఆయన హడావిడిగా వచ్చేస్తారు, అప్పుడు పాదుకులు వేసుకున్నారా లేదా అనేది
అక్కడ అసలు ఆయన డౌట్ ఎందుకు వచ్చింది లేదు. అతను ఇక్కడ జాయిన్ అయ్యి అడగొచ్చు కదా, ఎక్కడెక్కడో చదువుతాడు, ఏవేవో రాస్తాడు. నేను మాట్లాడాను, నేను నిన్న ఏదో కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో ఇంత మాట్లాడాను. ఏ కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో మాట్లాడానంటే, ది కాంటెక్స్ట్ వాస్ హీ పోస్టెడ్ ఎ పిక్చర్ ఆఫ్ శ్రీ వైకుంఠనాథ ఆర్ శ్రీ Paravasudeva in Vaikuntham with the Sridevi on his right, Bhudevi, Neela Devi on his left. But just below the Simhasanam, they kept Garuda and Hanuman and said, you remember that picture? Periya Tiruvadi and Siriya Tiruvadi. Garuda is called the senior Bhagavata. Hanuman is the junior Bhagavata compared to Garuda. I asked him, is this picture from any temple? He didn't reply, so I called him. Where did you get this picture? He said, it is just an artist drawing. He liked it, he posted. I said, no, that is not right. Because Paravasudeva with Mahalakshmi on the right, Sridevi on the right, Bhudevi, Neeladevi on the left is in Vaikuntham. In Vaikuntham, Hanuman opted not to go to Vaikuntham when Rama invited. Therefore, Hanuman staying on the Simhasanam is not a very great idea. Is misleading. I asked him, why did you post it? Because it's Hanuman did not even opt to go with Rama to Vaikuntham. That means Hanuman being there at the legs of the Simhasanam is not very appropriate. Then he said, oh, it is just an artist view of a picture, and I posted. So like that. Now coming back to Mahatma Deshika says, when Bhagavan, the minute he gets down from Garuda, he accepts Padukas. You remember that? So when Bhagavan is there going on Garuda, Bhagavan may not have had Padukas. So if you have that one he sent, send it to me again. I'll go through, because I don't know whether I saw that or removed it or deleted that. I don't know. Sometimes it happens, without reading I may delete. If the picture is not appropriate. So I forwarded the same picture he sent and asked him, in which temple is this? Does it look appropriate? He said, no, it's not from any temple. It's just the artist thinking. So that's how many people have their own personal thoughts. Whereas in Srivaikuntham, every devotee can enjoy a Kainkarya. And Paduka Devi Mahatma Deshika said, the minute he gets down from Garuda, he immediately accepts the Padukas. I'll try to refer to that verse and let you know. I know I did it actually. It was there. Go ahead, Ma. That's it, Revati.
Narayana Swami.
Narayana, Ma.